Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to be talking about Migration, the latest animated film from Illumination. I'm your host, Kyle, and I'm joined by David.
Hey mate, this is another Boxing Day film, isn't it?
Yeah, it seemed on a knife's edge for a while there, I guess, for with the uh the strikes and all that kind of stuff. Everything kept getting pushed back. Where it seemed like there was going to be nothing but indie films coming out on Boxing Day, but it looks like yeah, this is at least one for the kids.
Yeah, we've
So
we've also got Wish as well, the Disney film. But tell us a little bit about Migration. What can we
yeah.
expect if we go along and check out Migration?
Well, yeah, it's hunting season, pollution, and the dreaded duckling devouring heron. These are some of the dangers that are faced by ducks every second of the day, or at least this is what the mallard duck named Mac, played by Kumail Nanjiani, fears. As he attempts to keep his family safe in day-to-day life. But in their quiet pond, at least for now, his partner Pam, played by Elizabeth Banks, and ducklings Dax, played by Casper Jennings, and Gwen, played by Tracy Gazelle, are safe. Now, things are happening just quiet life until a migrating flock of ducks makes a pit stop in the family's pond, telling exciting stories of their travels and their planned destination of Jamaica. Now, Pam is eager to join the flock and to show her kids the world, while Dax becomes smitten by one of the travelers named Kim, played by Isabella Merced. But Mac, however, puts his webbed foot down, and the family remain behind as the flock leave. But it becomes clear that holding onto his family so tightly may cause him to lose them entirely. So Mac changes his mind, and eventually the Mallards decide to make the journey themselves. And so begins an adventure through thick and thin, across New York City and beyond to their Jamaican destination. And yeah, they're going to meet all kinds of new friends and dangers and maybe even discover a new love for one another as they embark on this family vacation. So, yeah, what did you think of this movie, dude? Because it was, as I say, Illumination has developed quite a prestigious name for themselves in the world of animated film.
Yeah, look, I love Illumination films. I've got to say, people that have been listening and reading my reviews over the years will know that I've been saying time and time again that DreamWorks and Illumination, I feel nowadays, are so far ahead of Pixar when it comes to their movies because Illumination still want to make fun films. I like a lot of Pixar movies, but I always feel like their modern day movies are preaching at me, like that there's
Mm.
some point that they're trying to get across. Whereas with this film is a film about a family of ducks going on a migration, and it's funny. Like there's even this even goes back to like some Looney Tunes kind of comedy in the essence of when the chef comes in and stuff like that. Like that's classic, almost Wile E. Coyote chasing Roadrunner kind of antics. But I always find that Illumination and DreamWorks seem to be creative in the way that they tell these stories. And yeah, there is a message with this film, like family sticks together, kind of thing. And also a little message in there as well for parents that are watching this film about helicopter parenting and how it can actually divide you from your spouse and from your kids. So there's a
Mm.
message in there, but it's done in a fun way. I didn't feel like I walked away from this film having been preached at. I felt that I just watched a fun film about a family of ducks. I had a few laughs along the way. Yeah, there's some touching moments in this as well. But look, I feel that there are some weaknesses in this film. I think there's storylines, especially the storyline revolving around Kim, the other duckling that
Mm.
that's met by the family. I think some of them get left by the wayside a little bit too easily. Like there needs to be more there with that. But look, this might not be the perfect film, but I still found it to be a fun film that made me laugh at times. Well, what did you think, dude?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, sometimes it's just nice to have a film that's unapologetically made for kids,
Yeah,
and I guess, doesn't need to have any deeper themes or anything heavier going on in it. Um, I still did enjoy it though. Like I've enjoyed all of Illumination's films, and this one I was especially kind of looking forward to because being directed by Benjamin Renner, who he's not he's well usually they get the director of these films usually people that have worked in many animated films over the last few years, but he's actually kind of, I hate to say, a lot more prestigious in his filmography. His film Ernest and Celestine was nominated for an Academy Award, and it's much more Studio Ghibli, I guess,
yeah,
than
yep,
the types of films you'd normally see. And also, the film was co-written by Mike White, who I've been a fan of his since Dead Man on Campus, and of course he wrote School of Rock, and uh, he also worked the he also wrote the Emoji Movie, but we won't hold that against him. Uh, but but yeah, like I guess it wasn't quite up on the same level that I kind of would have expected, seeing those names attached to it. But it was still a fun, entertaining film. It was one that the kids in the audience, this is something that we're always kind of looking for when we see movies like this. How are the children in the audience reacting to it? Has it kept their attention? Has it completely lost them? And yeah, they were completely down with this one. Just I thought that was impressive considering uh, the actual characters themselves aren't particularly. I guess if you were to draw any of the characters, they just basically look like ducks.
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess, like it's not like Gru from Despicable Me or the Illumination's previous film. The Super Mario Brothers movie was, of course, much more iconic. But yeah, it there wasn't really anything in the way of like minions kind of like characters that are instantly recognizable with this. It's really just a movie about a bunch of ducks, and in some way, I respected that, but yeah, I would have liked the story to go a little bit deeper. I agree with what you say about the character of Kim, especially being played by Isabella Merced.
yeah,
I mean, she's like an A-list actress, and she's playing a character that's, I believe, in the film twice.
yeah.
It Yeah, it's more like a cameo than anything else. Um, but I did find it really funny. I like Danny DeVito. I didn't mention him in the opening because he's kind of just this weird uncle character that follows the family around.
Yes,
And
yeah,
yeah, I really I liked him in it. It was kind of like the National Lampoon's Chevy Chase vacation movies, only
yeah,
with ducks.
yeah.
And yeah, that's I did enjoy that about it, like just the simplicity of it. Yeah, I thought it was quite entertaining.
Yeah, I also like the fact that, like you said, they didn't have over the top characters or minion characters. Like, I find that because of her over the top personality, a lot of times when Aquafina gets cast in films, they
Mm.
quite often give her like an overbearing kind of character, which I think actually goes against what she's good at. Because I find when she's in a movie, she's actually much better if she's just got like she can carry a lead role, like
Yeah,
something like Raya
good
and the Last
goodbye.
Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Raya and the Last Dragon, where they gave her a character that was more down to earth. She is a very good actress, especially a voice actress. And I liked what they did here. Like they've given her this kind of street tough pigeon that's not going to take crap from these mallards, but at the same time they didn't make her an over the top kind of character. And I think they were very good at doing that because you have some very big names in this film, like Elizabeth Banks, Danny DeVito, Aquafina, like we just mentioned. So to have them play characters where they just kind of gel with the rest of the cast, I thought that was actually a pretty good idea from the filmmakers here.
Yeah, I as a fan of Foot Rot Flats, her character really reminded me of Vernon the Vermin
Yes.
from the Foot Rot Flats movie.
Yeah.
So I was expecting a musical number there, but yeah, we didn't get one. I really like the animation style in it as well. It's kind of a film that I believe maybe in America they might release in 3D with some screenings, but I know 3D screenings are kind of a rare thing in Australia. But it's definitely the kind of film that I would have enjoyed seeing in 3D because especially the first time that the family kind of fly out of the pond, just that it's kind of you're seeing things from their perspectives. They go into the go through the trees from like this kind of murky pond area into like the sunset, and it looked really beautiful and really kind of stunning. And it's not really something that you always a lot of these movies you just kind of the animation just kind of washes over you and you just don't you never really stop to think wow that actually looked really beautiful, you
Yeah.
know. And yeah, I really did think that with this and the music as well, by John Powell, who is known for doing the Jason Bourne movies and a lot of kind of other Hollywood action excitement movies. Yeah, I thought the music really fit for the film as well. It's kind of it really is just a film for kids, but I still found myself really enjoying it.
Yeah, like I said in my review for Wish, Wish is the same thing. Disney's gone back to that old school magic that made Disney so special when we were kids. And when you watch Wish, it's the same thing. There's no preaching at you as an audience or anything like that. It's just old school animation fun, which I would say is the same for this one as well. So, what are you going to give this one out of five and why?
I'm going to give this 3 out of 5. I really did enjoy it. I do think that they could have maybe taken a few, maybe 3.5 out of 5 instead of three. Sorry. Um, I do think that they could have taken a few steps more with it to kind of make it something that would really stand out. But it's a perfectly entertaining, perfectly serviceable animated film for kids, and yeah, I agree. It's not preaching at you. It's just a fun time at the movies.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3 out of 5. I did have fun. I loved it all the way through, but I just felt that there was a couple of storylines there that they let slip just a little bit too easily that I would have seen more of. So 3 stars for me.
All right. So, well, that's a migration. I believe it's coming out Boxing Day. So, yeah, get out if you've got kiddies, and especially if you enjoy Illuminations films, The Secret Life of Pets, Despicable Me, those types. Yeah, give it a watch. It's a pretty good film. So, we'll be back right after this.